with your perspective on that big story. Thanks to Ajay, who joined us earlier as well. Meanwhile, shifting our focus to our big story this hour, the Union Cabinet has cleared the Women's Reservation Bill. This sets the stage for its presentation in Parliament, a move being hailed as a historic push towards gender equality in Indian politics. The bill is seeking to reserve 33% of seats in Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies for women, a long-pending reform aimed at correcting the severe underrepresentation of women in lawmaking bodies. This legislation is significant not just for what it proposes, but for what it represents. For nearly 3 decades, attempts to pass such a bill failed due to political disagreements, making this a breakthrough moment and a major consensus moment for Indian democracy. Currently, women make up only around 14% of Lok Sabha members, highlighting the gender gap in political participation. The bill is aiming to change all of that by structurally ensuring women have a stronger voice in decision-making at both national and state levels. Why is this a milestone? Well, because it shifts India from symbolic empowerment to institutional representation, potentially transforming governance priorities from health and education to social welfare through greater inclusion of women's perspectives. In essence, this bill is not just about reservation, it's about redefining power, participation and parity in the world's largest democracy. Remember, the bill is also intending to ensure this implementation is there by the 2029 Lok Sabha elections. Joining us now to speak about this big story is Kamaljeet Sehrawat, BJP Member of Parliament. Appreciate you joining us on NewsX, ma'am. How crucial and big is this 33% reservation for women really going to be as a reform?
If you will see the history of this bill, then we can take the example that it was crucial because it was introduced in 97, then 98, then again in 2008. And in 2010, it was passed by the Rajya Sabha, but we never get the chance to make it implemented, to pass it from the Sadan. Either it is Rajya Sabha or the Lok Sabha, but in 2010, it was passed by Rajya Sabha. After that, there was no conversation, no discussion was there on this bill. But we are lucky one that in 2023, we get this bill passed by both the houses. So the passing of this bill is, you can say that on the ground now, and this bill is passed. And I'm thankful to all the parties, those who have supported this bill in 2023 to pass out for 33 reservation in Lok Sabha as well as in Vidhan Sabha.
Yes. How has your experience been as a woman parliamentarian so far? You're, of course, elected as an MP for Delhi. How has your experience been so far as a woman in the lower house of Parliament?
It makes a lot of difference. Parliament is a very big place where the history or the future of the country both take place. So in that way, it's very important place. And whenever you are belonging to any of the category or any of the class, definitely you are much concerned about them because you understand the matters without explaining by anybody else. You always have your own experience. So it's a big house and I can say I'm the lucky one who got the chance to be part of this Lok Sabha.
Yes, absolutely. And considering that women right now are just about 14% represented in Parliament, of course, you're one of those. But how will this, bill really change things? How will the inclusion, ma'am, of more women in Parliament help improve functioning, hopefully, of Parliament as well?
The inclusion of women on every part of the society or every layer of the government plays an important role. If we just look on the third level municipality committee or the Gram Panchayat, we can understand that there is a lot of changes on the sanitation drives, the self-help group. It means the ground level work which are helpful for a family or for a woman. So in that case, if the 50% or 33% reservation on the third level of the government, on the municipality, on the Gram Panchayat, it makes a lot of difference in our country. And if it will be in Vidhan Sabha as well as in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, then the participation, the decisions will play an important role. And I think that the decisions will be more inclusive of all the group of the society or our country in the decision, and especially the half of the population, the half power of the country is women. So in that case, it will be much useful for all the aspects of the society.
Yes, also from your experience, in politics, why is it more important to have women in administrative roles, in leadership positions?
Administration gives you a power to implement, to take the decisions, to implement the ideas on the ground. So, administration, if you will see the working style of the prime officer, we always give the administration or the leadership role to the women. If we will check the last 10 years or 11-year work of the prime minister, sir, then in 2022, the first batch of the NDA pass out. The Women Commission, Permanent Commission in the Army, it was given. Then fighter pilot, it was not for the women earlier, that is given. It means the inclusiveness on all the level, whether it is the financial, whether it is in the social level, or whether in the leadership role. Now, when we are talking about the reservation in the parliament or the assemblies, it's very important because a lady can understand a society in a better way because she is always a part of the family system and she's always a gravity center of the family or the society. So I feel that if the ladies will get the chance to take the decision, then it will be more family centric, more social centric, and for the development of all the classes of the society. So I feel that the administration power will strengthen the female power of our country. They
Okay.
are already doing very well, but if they will give the participation in the administration decisions also, then it will definitely improve them. It means half of the power will improve in the country, and the aspect of that improvement will able to see on the society.
All right, my final question to you. Prime Minister Modi has also pledged all parties, he's appealed to everyone to support this bill. Do you expect that to happen?
In 2008, when it was introduced in the Rajya Sabha, it was passed in 2010. On that time, it was not been supported by all the parties. But I can say on that time also BJP was in support of that. But there were so many reasons that it couldn't take place. But now in 23, all the parties have supported this. And I feel that every party is very much concerned about the women empowerment now. And we are appealing to all the parties that it is not for the politics, beyond the politics, it's for the betterment of the country. And to the half of the power of the country, must we give the place which they deserve. So I feel that every party should support it, and I hope so.
All right, Kamaljeet Sirawat, BJP Member of Parliament, appreciate you joining us with your perspective on this big story. That was Kamaljeet Sirawat speaking with NewsX there, of course, giving her perspective on this big story, of course, speaking about women's reservation in Parliament, and of course also this amendment which is being made to ensure that this reform is implemented by 2029. Joining us now on the broadcast is Rita Bahuguna Joshi, former Member of Parliament and former UP Cabinet Minister. Rita Bahuguna Joshi, welcome. Thank you very much for speaking with NewsX today. This is a big reform for women in public life. How important is this legislation for 33% reservation for women in Parliament and Legislative Assembly is really going to be, ma'am?
I think the women of this decade are very fortunate, and so am I, that we are seeing this bill coming through now, and it will be implemented. It has already been passed. So it's you could say it's going to be a great game changer for the women who want to be in public life, who want to change the societal mindset, and who want policies and frameworks to be congenial to the growth of women. So I think it's a great expectation that we had for a long time. And now it's going to come true in 16 to 18 when there'll be a debate. So we're very happy, and I see this as a great empowerment process. And thanks to the Prime Minister who is pushing it through now, because along with the census, it has to be done, the delimitation should come in. And if it is delayed, then it'll go further down. So I think all of us are expecting that all the parties will come together and pass this bill so that 33% women represent half the population of our country in the legislatures.
You know, you've also had a long innings in public life, and your, of course, political life is still on. You've not retired as yet. You're still very active, of course, we know. How has your experience been, being a woman in politics, in public life, in parliament, in Vidhan Sabha?
Look, I was very surprised, but it was my mother's centenary, Kamla Bhavna, who was a product of the 1942 movement. And it was a centenary last year. So I went to the Parliament House and I asked them to give me a list of women MPs who were there in 1977, when my mother was also a member of the Parliament, Lok Sabha. She gave me a small list. I said, no, I want the entire list. She said, ma'am, this is the entire list we had. In 77, imagine, after the emergency, there were just 17 women in the Parliament. In Lok Sabha, only 17. And we are now 74. So it has been a very difficult struggle for the women to come into legislatures. Because you see, it was a male-dominated area, and we were not being allowed enough space. And there was not a level playing ground as well. So you see, there was a time when we thought that we are only there to hold flags and support parties. I personally feel, I was elected as the mayor, the first lady mayor of Allahabad, which is Prayagraj now, in 95. And at that time, having been a university professor and being Bhogna's daughter, I had to also, confront male chauvinism,
Yes.
male ego
Yes.
in the administration.
Yes.
And they were not prepared to take my orders easily.
Yes.
So it wasn't easy. And even the male counterparts in the political party, they wouldn't like when I became Congress president for UP.
True.
They didn't like it.
True.
When the things keep on going like this, but I'm grateful to the Prime Minister.
Okay.
And we were pleasantly surprised when we had this new building, Parliament
Okay.
House, and the first bill that came in was the Nari Shakti Vandana Adhiniyam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My final question to you, are you hoping that there will be consensus? PM has made an appeal for there to be unity, but do you believe it will actually happen?
There shall be, it will be, because I think 50% of the population is awaiting, and we influence the elections nowadays. It is the women who decide who's going to form a government. And the Prime Minister is the categorical statement that will be a women-led development in G20. He said this, and he's centered around that. All policy frameworks are coming in that way. It will be a unanimous decision, so much I see. And the Prime Minister's appeal, we also appeal to all the political parties. This is going to be a historic event.
Okay.
So they should all pitch in.
All right. Thank you very much, Rita Bogana Joshi, for your time and speaking to us on this big story. We're taking a short break. Back on the other side with lots more.